Man. All right, man. Let's get this going.
You're so fake. You know you press record. Welcome back to the channel.
Slick Talk.
That's who we are. My name is Dee.
Yo, and it's Rob, the People's Champ. Let's go. Let's go. So today we're going to be talking about how to find success with your mate. That one.
Yeah. Them. The other
I
half.
don't know. We'll figure it out during this session. So we got a couple topics we'll go over, but for the most part, we just free flowing. So as y'all get ready to sit back, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button.
Show us some love. Show us some support.
Definitely hit that bell so y'all see it when we come on. But hey, first topic we're gonna go to is to never take your mate for granted.
I think first, how do you know? How do you know if A, you're taking your mate for granted, or B, you're being taken for granted? How do you know?
Whew, that's some deep things to think about, man. Hey, we're gonna have to add a poll in here and see if you ever felt like you've been taken advantage or being taken for granted. So we're gonna have to put a poll in here and see what y'all think about it.
That's not even what I said.
Take two.
I was gonna try to go with it, but I'm like, what?
You just started laughing. I know the first one was like, but then you just did it. So
anyway, y'all know what I said. So
we're gonna take a poll, and then you'll see what the question is on the poll. Okay? Anyway, but no. So I would say sometimes you got to sit back and evaluate why you think you're being taken for granted. So sometimes is it the things that you're doing that you're expecting, or you're expecting things that aren't going to be done by the person? It's just what's realistic too as well. You have to look at what does your mate normally do? Is that out of character for them to do? You know?
I don't think it matters if it's out of character or not. If he was bummy to begin with, like, then you just need to step it up. It doesn't really matter what it started like. That doesn't mean that that's what we have to expect for the rest of all time. Like, no, especially being married like that. No, you need to step your game up, honey. Like, it's not a.
I guess it's all to do with expectations. So whatever the expectation is that you're thinking that you want, or that you feel like it's you not being taken for granted, I guess that would be something that you have to work out between the two, is what are the expectations that you're looking for so that you're not feeling like you're being taken for granted.
I think having a conversation is crucial, like to know, number one, what your expectations are from your partner, but also, especially being married, like your relationship evolves. What your expectations were when you first got married cannot be your expectations 15 years later. Like, that's just not even realistic. So you and your mate have to be on the same page of growth. You can't be thinking you can leave them saying crusty drawers in the bathroom that you did in year one. Like, that just doesn't work.
I guess if y'all ever have crusty underwear, don't leave them in the bathroom, because I don't think she's talking from experience. I've never had crusty underwear. So
somebody is making
just wanted to make sure we clear that up. But no, what I was thinking is that I feel like once you have that conversation and then the expectations still aren't met, then you might have a chance to say that maybe I'm being taken for granted, or the fact that you're not getting what you need. But you should always head back and try to explain again. I think it's always about communication. And what she said with growth, I don't know. I think there's people that don't grow. Like, they are the same people 5 years later.
No.
They work the same job. No. They do the same routine. There's people that are just systematic out there.
But even your circumstances can change in that time frame.
Doesn't mean that it has.
But because your circumstances change, it also means you as a person changes.
Yeah,
Especially people who are married at a young age. Like if you married at a young age and you've grown, like you're growing into a whole different person. Like 20-year-old you and 30-year-old you, completely different people.
I guess so. I guess when I get to these ages, I'll be able to know.
You ain't 20 anyway. I really can't.
So another topic we wanted to hit was that in your relationship, whether married or in a serious relationship, we wanted to see about how do you incorporate it to always feel like you're always dating. How do you think that?
Well, I think that's important to do, because after 15 years of being married, I think things can get monotonous. You can get into that groove. You can get into that funk, like you were saying, like 5 years later, ain't nothing changed. That's a problem. So you do get into that, which means that you do. Like, what were some of the things that y'all did before you got married, before everything got,
I think it all depends too, because think about this. Some people's relationship was long distance. Some people had different types of jobs that didn't allow them to spend that much time with them. But we want to know, what are some of the things that y'all do to keep your marriage or your relationships spicy, to kind of keep it fresh, new things that y'all do, especially with Corona. What is it that you like can think of, like when you go through your anniversary and it was Corona time and you're like, where?
I was whack.
What do you do? Do you just, call them and tell them you love them from outside the door?
They don't live with you?
I'm saying just to be like different, unique. Went to the car and called them just to tell them you love them. I'm just saying.
He ain't even doing that, so I don't even know.
You could have done. Hey, I did some things, you know what I'm saying?
In Corona time?
Yeah. I did some stuff for Corona time. I went and had my mask and everything going, and I was like, let me go get these flowers, let me go get some chocolate, let me get these banging balloons. They was dope. I think she really liked them. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Shade.
Oh, sorry. Again,
kids are sleeping.
Oh yeah, about that. Sorry, I'll be a little loud, but at the end of the day, she liked them, right? Okay. Y'all see her expressions. Put something in the comments below how she be acting. Like, I promise, in Corona, fighting all that, trying to make sure he had a little something special on her faces.
That wasn't even it. I'm over here trying to think and listen, like, oh, I hope you didn't wake these kids up. All while you trying to ask me questions at the same time. That didn't have anything to do with it. Yes, I did. I appreciate it. You even got me a cake. It was nice. It was just different. It was just different than what I'm used to.
It can be the normal, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
you do what you can do.
But the thought was very nice. But anyway, in terms of always dating, it's just important to keep that spice, that something new, something. I even remember the little things. Like that's what I really think needs to be in an everyday routine, is to remember the little things, like that text message or the letter that got left on the bed or whatever it may be. Like Corona makes it a little different for some people. Like some people are at home together, but some people still aren't. So just remember those little things, because that's really, really the things you think of later on down the
line. Definitely think about the people that is going out there fighting Corona and trying to make a living for y'all, to make sure that y'all provide it.
What? Wait a minute. What are you talking about?
Just in general, the people that's out there on the front lines that's working, trying to make sure that they're taking care of the family, because they may have their wife or significant other stay home while they're working to try to carry the load.
It's oh my gosh, I cannot wait to be looking in the rearview mirror of this Corona stuff. Like it's a lot. It's a lot, but anyway.
So then we want to go to the next topic about people being petty. Y'all being petty out there, come on. I don't know. I don't think I'll be petty, you know what I'm saying? But we're gonna see what she said. We're gonna go dive up into this. So
look at his face.
how y'all gonna stop
petty.
being petty?
You know he
y'all gotta stop being petty.
You know he be petty. He know he petty too. He know he
not
petty
today.
too.
Not today.
He know he petty too, but we'll act like we don't know.
I mean, give me your perspective.
You can't be like you be petty. For real. I'm not saying all the time, but you don't be petty.
Dang, why are you trying to put me on front?
I'm just asking.
Am I petty? Have I been petty? I think everybody in my life been petty at one point.
Okay, nah, like don't be trying to act like you ain't petty. You be petty. Like stop it. Petty LaBelle, honey.
I think I just be trying to make sure you understand what's going on. Sometimes you don't understand, so
give me an example.
So I don't have one off the top of my head. I'm trying to think of a scenario that happened. But
it don't even have to be something that happened, but you're trying to tell me that you don't think I understand. So being petty helps me to understand.
Yes, sometimes being petty makes people understand where you're coming from. You know what I'm saying?
Break that part down in an example.
So she may come up and say, hey, I don't want you to do such and such. And you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to jump on that train and not do it. Okay? And so then you go 2 or 3 weeks and you like, hold up, is she doing what she just told me not to do like 2 or 3 weeks ago? But I jumped on this train of not doing it. And
you sure you jumped on the train?
It's okay for you to do it 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I gotta bring it up. Like, hold up. Now I know this was you 3 weeks ago telling me not to do this. And so I'm gonna need to do this extra amount of time so that she understands that she shouldn't say nothing to me because of the fact of she was doing it.
You gotta be on your grown man. Like that's not grown man status. That's super petty. And
that's super petty?
Yeah, like why not set the example to be like, hey babe, this is the type of relationship we gonna have. Not that pettiness.
I think
see,
that
I feel like we're in a new
decade.
My mom always talks about these decade boxes, and each decade you get to learn new things. And I feel like that's an old decade box. Like, why are we still doing? Why are we still thinking petty? Like, that's not even.
Sometimes you just be in that mode because of the fact that you feel
getting
some
too
type
old
of
for
way
that. Too old for that.
How you want something to be, but yet you want to be the exact same way you don't want someone else to be.
So it takes growth, right? How will we grow if you continue to be petty?
I feel like I understand where you're coming from.
But petty, you just can't get over it.
Nah, not even that. It's just that I think I've grown from that. I don't think that's how I handle it these days. That's what I'm trying to say.
So you don't feel like you're petty now. You feel like you've moved on to the next box.
Yeah, like petty me, was there. And,
I don't know, man.
I think it like grew. You know how you see that growth chart?
You seem a little too passionate about it.
You go back that next year, you grew a little bit, you put that mark on the door. That's me. I already grew up from it.
I don't think so. But you know what? I want you to be over the pettiness.
For sure. And that's why I think you think I am. So
you said I think that?
Yeah, I think so. So now we're about to go into this next topic.
You see what I'm talking about?
You see what I mean?
Come on.
Never be lonely in a relationship.
What? See,
so let me explain
my
this.
God.
This is a topic I wanted to throw out there. You see what I'm saying? Obviously, her face says she didn't want to talk about. She said, huh? So anyway, what don't be lonely means in a relationship. So a lot of times, men, we don't communicate that well with our wives. We want them to already understand this. You feel like they do, but in certain instances, they don't understand what we need. So we have to explain that to them. We have to break that down, break that barrier of not being able to communicate our true feelings. Because a lot of men, and I don't know, I'm not going to speak for all, but I have my inner circle of people that I talk to, guy friends that are married or in serious relationships that go through the same type of things. And that's what I'm saying when I say don't be lonely in your relationship. Take the time to really tell your significant other what you need. Because a lot of times your needs are not getting met, not even saying that it had to be sexually, but just the things that you need to be talked about, like the things that's going on through your head that you just want to be supported. You want somebody to feel like, as a man, you want to feel supported by your significant other. You want them to feel like, hey, he is that head of the house, that he is leading the family, that he is taking care of the needs of the family. That is needed for a lot of men, and a lot of women do not per se give that to us in the way that we need it.
But you're saying that this isn't given in the way that's needed, but it's not communicated the way it's needed.
I'm saying there's a lot of times that it's not communicated, but that's why I call it never be lonely, because it can make you quite lonely in a relationship because you feel like you're not getting what you need from that relationship. So instead of being in a loveless relationship, be able to communicate and not think that your mate's going to know what to do or how to do things that you want done.
Well, I think that's important on a lot of different levels, because what you're used to or how you think, even how you communicate, can be different from one person to another. So like growing up in a family, usually communication is pretty much the same throughout family members, but when you have two different families, there's different styles of communicating. And so that has to be addressed. It has to be put out there of how you communicate or how you receive things. Like, you think a lot about giving physical things, and that's the way that you like to communicate love and things like that. But everybody doesn't feel that way. So when you're in a relationship with somebody who doesn't, you have to know what. I think there's a book or something. I don't remember what it's called, but I think it's called like Love Languages or something like that. And they're like, what's your love language? And like affirmations are some people's, physical gifts are some people's, and stuff like that. But it's important to know who your partner is, who your spouse is, so that it's not what you think, but how they think.
And that's transitioning into our next topic, which is learn the difference between your backgrounds. And so once you get to understand your mate's background and their makeup, that's so important depending on how you were brought up. Because a lot of people are brought up in so many diverse backgrounds and things that they have gone through. You may not be able to relate. You may be able to relate. But once you learn their background, you're able to understand how to handle situations a little bit differently. Understanding not to get upset about this thing because that's just what they know, or to be expecting you to understand what type of your comedy or your kind of funniness. Like they didn't grow up in that type of environment. That's not funny to them. That's serious business, okay. So it's so many little things like that that makes a relationship tick and go, and like it's nothing that you can do if you don't understand the background of the person that you with. Like she was saying, I'm more of a person that is like a showy type of display. Like, hey, I'm gonna get you this. I want you to see. I'm gonna do all this for you. That's my type of love. That's how I want to display. Like, hey, if you got everything you need, I provided that for you. I'm the man. I did my role. I did what was needed. My family didn't grow up as a huggy type. We didn't give hugs. We didn't say we loved each other. It was just like you knew you loved each other because that's your family. That's just how you love it. There's no question about it. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have to say all that. When I come home, I didn't come home and run and give my mom a hug and my dad a hug. We didn't do that. We just.
That's so crazy to me. Like I never entered into any family members' houses without greeting them with hugs, or left like for the school day without saying, all right, mom, bye, love you. Like giving our kids like I never, and the funny thing is,
Never
I never even considered my mom to be very like overly affectionate. Like she was affectionate, but I never considered her to be overly affectionate. But then I met his family, and I was like, "Oh, she is."
We just don't do that. It's
I was like, "Hey,
raised.
like come through the door, like what's up?" And everybody just like looking at you. It's weird. I don't know. Anyway, every family is different.
The dynamics are.
But I think those things can change too, and I think that is one thing. Like, especially being married for a long period of time, like just because you started out as somebody that was super affectionate doesn't now mean that you don't appreciate gifts more. Like it just kind of depends, but I think that's the thing for couples is you have to be in tune with each other to know what those things are in order to be able to find success in your relationship.
Being able to blend the two together, being able to blend the two backgrounds together is the key. Being able to say, oh, I understand where you're coming from now. Now I understand what it takes to talk. And even communication styles, man, so crazy. And that goes into learning how to trust one another. That's the next topic, trust. Whew, I mean, all I can say is I met a plethora of people that had trust issues out there. And I feel like you have to leave those trust issues at the door when you enter into a relationship, into let's say a marriage or somebody that you're with for a long time. If you're in a dedicated relationship, you gotta leave them trust issues at the door.
I think if you're in any relationship that's not marriage and you have trust issues, you need to let it go. That's what I think.
I feel like
I think once you're married, it's a different level. But there is no way. Like I be watching these shows. I wish I would not be able to trust you to go to the goodbye. Like that is too much. That is too much to be having to think about what they doing. If you can't completely trust somebody before you get married, don't even do it. Don't do it, sis. It's a no for me, sis. Don't do it.
Like, look, this is how you should start a relationship out. Start out at 100%. 100% trust. That was my thing. Trust me 100% until I show you differently. If I don't show you differently, I shouldn't start at zero. I shouldn't have to build nothing. I never was with you. I never made you distrust me. Do you get what I'm saying? If we're starting a relationship.
What you talking about, marriage or a relationship in general?
In general, any relationship, because I
think any relationship starts that way.
There's a lot of people that already have those issues that, they've been cheated on or they've been played or whatever the case is.
I think those things make you cautious because
overly cautious. That's what I'm saying. It runs some men away because of the fact that
But that's not it. So me in general, like me, I don't trust people in general. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh hey, come over to my house. But I'm also not gonna just be like giving you the side eye. Like you will have to give me a reason to distrust you. But I'm also not just going to lay everything I got out on the line because I don't trust you completely.
I get it. It's just that you gotta have a balance. But I'm saying there's a lot of people, women, men, whatever, that go into a relationship like I got zero trust and you gotta earn it. No. Start off with that 100%. That's my slick bit tip today. Start off with 100% trust in your mate, whoever you're dating. And then once they show you can't have that 100%, then knock it down. Tack them out.
But I just feel like do you just waiting though? That means you're just waiting to knock it down. Do you get what I'm saying?
But if you never get nobody to knock it down, you're good. Because after a while, if you keep thinking, somebody, they about to do me wrong, they gonna do me wrong, but they never do you wrong, you start reevaluating things like, all right, I'm not gonna be trying to check their phone. I ain't gonna be trying to do this. I feel comfortable.
I'm not about to be.
But I ain't want to be in no relationship where I gotta feel uncomfortable about the person because of their own issues. I don't want to be with nobody like that. That would just be me. If you have an issue, I don't want to deal with that issue to be with you. So if you can't trust me that 100%, I'm good. I'm gone.
I get that. I don't know. I guess we might feel the same way, but just think about it differently. Because I always got a side eye. Like, I'm
side,
always like
the male side.
Man.
There it is. So the last topic we're gonna hit today is, when's the last time that you made a compromise in a relationship? Who wants to be that first person that compromised? I know it don't be me. I'm stubborn.
We know.
I like to do things my way because
we know.
Most of the time my way is the right way. I heard this quote that there is no right decision. And I was like, what? Like, any decision, it was like, it depends on the energy you put in every decision. Even if it was a wrong decision, it could be the right decision. Because if y'all both back the decision and y'all both put your energy into that working, then it's going to work out.
I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue is, I don't think that's the issue. The issue is what each person feels about whatever you're compromising on. Like, if I felt strongly about one thing and you felt strongly about another, that's where a compromise comes into play. So it's not about making the wrong decision. It's about making a decision that's comfortable for both people.
Or if you go along with the other one, just put your 100%, all your good energy on whatever.
See, that's where we come into people being taken advantage of or not feeling that way. Because if you always ready for somebody to go along with your idea all the time, like,
I'm not saying every time. I'm just saying,
you just said that.
I just said there's no wrong decision. When do
you decide to go with what you want? Like, come on, no, that donkey like heck, no.
Listen, all I'm saying is, put your energy into whatever the decision is.
You just gonna try to keep making the same point. Yeah. I'm done. Clearly it doesn't matter. See what I'm talking about? This is how it happens. Clearly it doesn't matter what I'm trying to say.
No, sometimes you should compromise.
He about to just keep bringing it around full circle to this same point.
Sometimes you should compromise there.
Sometimes?
Yeah, definitely. There's times where you need to compromise to allow your significant other.
You just making it seem like it should be like very rare. Like, no, I just want to point. Oh, okay.
No, I'm not saying rare.
That's what it sounds
I'm saying that it should happen.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, like I said, the topic was, think about this, sit back, and be like, when's the last time that I actually made a compromise in my relationship? I can think of plenty of them.
You can? Recently?
Recently, daily. Like,
really? What was the one for today?
Today was just really sometimes you learn not to speak, because that's a compromise. So now I'm just messing. No, I'm not going to speak on that today. I appreciate her thinking about that.
That's a first year question?
Yeah, that's a first year question. You don't put yourself, don't be dumb out there, people. They will put you right in that position to look real dumb.
I just wanted to know what you felt like you compromised on today.
It's all right.
You don't want to answer.
It happened. It's okay. I appreciate it. So,
I got another tip.
Everybody, she's got a tip today. What up?
This is a slick bit tip because yours was kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
This is at the end.
I had to throw another one out there.
So the tip is for you to be concentrating on your mate's happiness, not your own. So in order to have a successful relationship, it has nothing to do with you. You have to be making sure that comfortability for your mate, their happiness, everything that you think about when you think about your relationship should be for them, and vice versa.
That's a wonderful tip. And if you take that tip, I'm telling you, y'all going to go a long way into that relationship. So hopefully y'all got a little bit of insight about us and our relationship. We definitely want to know about y'all's. Leave some stuff in the comments. We got a lot of more videos coming for y'all. I know y'all excited. We're going to actually do some reviews too of different things, some products. So y'all get to see that.
Hashtag a lot of more.
Yeah, all day, every day. Hashtag Slick Talk all day. Come see us. Definitely hit that subscribe button and we'll be coming back to you soon.
Bye.